I always do. Okay.
Yes.
So, what we're working on today.
Yeah.
So, we have chosen the fable A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing.
Okay.
So I think we'll start by maybe reading that out,
Mhm.
just so we can get an idea. I know we've read it, but it's good to share it in a space together.
Yeah.
A wolf once decided to change his nature by changing his appearance, and thus get plenty to eat. He put on a sheepskin and accompanied the flock to the pasture. The shepherd was fooled by the disguise. When night fell, the shepherd shut up the wolf in the fold with the rest of the sheep, and as the fence was placed across the entrance, the sheepfold was securely closed off. Ominous train. But when the shepherd wanted a sheep for his supper, he took his knife and killed the wolf.
Okay.
Right. So that's our fable, which is a wolf
Mhm.
in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, I thought we would just do a 5-minute brainstorm
Mhm.
discussing what comes up for
Themes and stuff.
themes
Yeah.
and stuff for that in terms of devising a piece of work.
Okay.
I think the thing that stuck out for me quite a lot was the assuming a role contradictory or contrasting to character.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, people use that phrase quite a lot in everyday language now. The wolf in sheep clothing. So if you're pretending to be someone you're not, and actually it's the person is covering up a bad side usually.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what I'm quite interested in about that is maybe like reversing that. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
That there's a negative stigma attached to this, like dressing up as something else.
Yeah, because dressing up as something else, like it seems you might be covering something up, but you're not always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Turks say it a lot, don't they?
Yeah.
Like about trans people,
Yeah.
trans community.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Let's do it.
Identity,
Identity, yeah. Big one.
definitely.
Dishonesty
Yeah.
with identity. So the fact that you can apparently be dishonest about your own identity that you created yourself,
Which is
which
weird.
is really weird.
I mean, life and death.
Yeah.
Big ones. Overriding. General.
I was gonna say hunger, because he kills the sheep for his food, and also there's the wolf's hungry. There's this idea of wanting something.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put that being wanting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Safety.
Hmm.
They're not safe with the sheep, the wolf in there.
Yeah. Hunger, identity. What else? Yeah, I guess like wearing a coat. Like I know it sounds basic, but
Yeah, yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like wearing
Oh, disguises. Yeah.
clothing.
Disguise.
Disguise.
Fur.
Fur.
They both have fur. Don't
Fur.
they?
Well, no, one has wool.
That's true.
Yeah.
But they both got like. It's not just skin, is it?
Do you know what I think of as well? Hungry Like a Wolf by Duran Duran.
Love it. It makes me think a lot about like all those old children's tales. Definitely like Grandma. What was the one? Oh my god.
Little Red Riding Hood.
Little Red Riding Hood, where they do it so they can eat children, which is dark.
Yeah.
But
Well, Brothers Grimm and,
wolves
and
are always used as something quite like.
Sinister. Yeah.
It's like really interesting about having like one part of nature that's trusted and then a distrusted part. So you always say we use certain animals like snake. It's a
Yeah.
bad thing, or it's just like
Snakes
it's
and
like
wolves.
sheep is a bad thing because you're being a sheep.
Yeah, that's weird. But sheep are often always used as victims, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Like the little lamb.
The
or
little, very little man.
Bar Black Sheep.
Yeah. Okay, so should we put something about like predator versus prey
Yeah.
and what that does for in society? Because definitely translates into how we feel about people.
Predator and prey.
If we say someone's a snake, it usually means that they're quite like a.
Yeah. This is interesting. Predator and prey.
Yeah.
I don't know. Identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ties in with safety. Because it's,
Definitely.
how safe are we if. Yeah, we look at something about like.
But we also did write down nursery rhymes or like
Oh, yeah.
fables in general. Children's stories.
Yeah, you just got that describing. I mean, that doesn't make sense, but animals describing people, I mean, like
Yeah.
using an animal to describe a person.
Yeah, well, that's very common in Aesop's.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Children's.
Villains.
Yeah.
Villains.
Okay, put villains. Oh my god, you know Cruella de Vil. She was like a big fan.
Cruella de Vil.
And that makes her bad,
Cruella de Vil. Wolves. Clowns.
Oh! Well, things that kids are scared of, yeah.
Yeah.
Is wolves were something that we were taught to be scared of because it was like grandma's footsteps as well.
Yeah.
There was a wolf at the end. The game. Do you remember that game?
Which one?
Grandma's footsteps. So you just sneak behind someone, turn around, and at the end you find out that their grandma was a wolf.
That's a great game. Write that down.
Grandma's footsteps. Footsteps. Okay. Cool.
Okay. How are we going for time?
We are about 10 minutes.
Cool.
In, if we started exactly. 10 minutes.
So let's stop there. I
Okay.
reckon.
Great.
So then I think we should pull some stuff out
Okay.
from this. So we've had a bit of a brainstorm of from an initial stimulus, and then I think maybe if we pull some stuff out that we think that we could work with,
That's cool.
moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd also like to implement I suppose like at this point, I'd like to implement a devising technique of using like a single object
Right.
and exploring what you can do with that
Okay.
in a very Robert Lepage kind of way, where just getting something and then seeing what that does kind of thing. So I thought we could maybe use some balloons
Yeah, that's cool.
and have a play with
So
those.
it's quite good for the childlike things that are coming out as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What do we want to move forward with that, do you think?
I think a huge one is identity.
Yeah.
A huge one is that pretending to be someone you're not and that putting people and yourself in danger, which is such a queer identity thing.
Totally.
It's if you put on this outer shell that some people don't think is yours, some people who are wrong don't think is allowed to be yours, you're putting yourself at risk and other people at risk, and something that's just not true, but it's something that we're definitely dealing with now.
Yeah. In terms of gender identity as separate from sexuality.
Yeah.
The
And
two-
people thinking that you're putting on a disguise rather than actually being yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of people seem to still think
That's what came to mind with the whole like a wolf wearing a
Cruella de Vil as well is very like she's
coat kind of thing.
literally in drag. Like that's
She's a drag queen.
it's drag queen.
And I guess childhood.
Yeah.
Have we written that up?
No, it's really children's tales, but childhood is
Children, childhood. I guess that's cool where like, the balloons can come in.
yeah.
Cool. I'm going to put some music on because I like working with music.
Yeah.
So
That's
I'm
good.
going to put on that because
Yeah. I think I can do that. This one.
yeah, Duran Duran.
This one. Yeah. Right, let's play this up.
these nails. Oh, this anxiety.
It's that noise as well.
Oh. Oh.
It's something that kids like don't like though. Like some kids really like balloons, some kids hate them. Right?
So there's the balloon drop game.
Oh god. Makes you get so sad with that. Okay. Have you used to draw faces on balloons? Oh. That was a lot. Did you used to draw faces on them? Do you have to go to the bill?
Yes. And a wolf.
And a wolf? And a sheep? I can make a sheep.
Yeah, make a sheep.
I'll make a sheep. Just testing my imagination.
Yeah, this just looks like the devil. Your mouth is huge.
I don't know why it's got eyebrows on me.
That no wolf.
Actually terrifying. Sheep?
Oh, that's better.
Isn't it interesting though that we immediately went for like pointy, evil looking things and I went for like big doe eyes? Like, I feel way cute. Ooh.
And the wolf. How do you kill the sheep? Skin?
No, I'm not sure. Wear its skin.
Or its skin?
Wear its skin. Can you wear it?
No. Oh god. Okay. Shall we pause for a sec?
Yes, of course. Wearing its skin is quite an interesting idea.
Yeah. The wolf.
Wearing someone else's skin. Balloons do feel a bit like
Yeah.
skin, don't they?
I guess let's discuss what came up from playing with balloons, how would be briefly.
Yeah. It's always that stuff of like, a modicum of your identity is what you're frightened of.
Say that again.
Like a big part of your identity, I think, for people as a child and even as an adult, is what you're frightened of.
Yeah.
So like when you pop the balloon, we were both like, ah! Because, you know, it was scary.
Anxiety.
And I think that's a really big important part of your identity is what you're frightened of as a person,
Fear.
what instills fear in you, yeah.
Yeah, well, I suppose ultimately fear is what stops us from moving forward sometimes.
Yeah.
Keeps us stagnant, stops us from doing things.
Well, animals are like literally like pets of ours, they're literally on instinct all the time. Like sheeps. There's no such thing as sheeps. Sheep are just scared of everything. Like you're around a bunch of sheep, they're just like gone straight away. I think if you ran at a pack of wolves, you'd have a very different reaction.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like they're so based on fear, and we think that we're above that. Like we think we're not like that. Like we can control our fears.
Yeah.
I think that we're a lot more based than we think we are. Because like you pop a balloon and everybody in the room goes.
Yeah. Just that simple gesture of popping a balloon is quite terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, even though the anticipation that I know you're going to do it again.
But how do you not? But look at your face.
I know, it's like...
That's something, isn't
It
it?
is, yeah.
It's like,
Anticipation of like something... Yeah.
I'm the wolf. Killed the sheep.
Kill the wolf, please.
The wolf staying alive.
It's true though, like that.
That feeling.
Yeah, even as adults, the same sort of fears will. My eyes, I can't really make it. It's not even that bad when it happens, though. This is the thing. The thing that you're afraid of when it happens is not that bad.
Yeah.
But the anticipation of it's almost worse.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When it happens, it's like
Well,
not that
the
stressful.
balloon pop.
Okay. So.
Because you said something interesting earlier about queer identity and sort of people who don't accept somebody else's idea of their own identity, how they want to present themselves.
Yeah.
And often the fear is bigger than when they haven't met somebody who perhaps is like not gender non-conforming or trans, and then once they're immersed in that world and once they know someone, the fear tends to go away.
Yeah. It's like how people, when they come out, they're faced often with a lot of, you hear quite frequently in the community, people get quite homophobic responses from their parents, and then years later they're really close with them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because they're not scared. The fear of the unknown, essentially.
It is, yeah.
Definitely.
But then there's that thing of, this wolf is definitely in a space that's not meant to be for him. Is and that's a lot about what spaces are people allowed in. There's a big debate about that at the minute.
Yeah. Yeah, space. Totally. Didn't think about that initially.
Taking up a space that he's not meant to be in.
Yeah.
Where he's a predator.
Space.
In a disguise.
Yeah. Space. Okay. Moving forward. If you had to carry something through from that brainstorm and from playing with just like a simple object, albeit brief, what do you think we can carry through from it? I feel like the balloon is a great prop in general.
They are.
Like,
they have a meaning to everybody.
because they have a meaning to everybody, and they have you can feel, like they give you a feeling, you can see them and you can touch them.
Yeah, and they have a very weird, they have a texture that's not
They even have a smell.
normal.
They're very, like, sensuary kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know, I've got this, definitely getting a childlike feeling from it. And not just because of the balloons, because of the wolf, because of the sheep, because so many of our children's tales have those characters in them.
Yeah.
To demonstrate to us what kind of people are bad people and what people are good people.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even think about the fact that when we can't get on to being older, that we describe people in an animal way, even then. It's just snaky is the one that keeps popping into my head, yeah.
Definitely.
So I don't know, maybe an exploration of how how we judge people in that way.
Yeah.
How we put a label on them as in any kind of way. And how they can subvert that expectation and what that means, especially in society like now, what that means to not to do the unexpected. Or to be in the disguise, even though it's not a disguise, but
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, it makes, again, I mean, the first thing I thought about was identity, I suppose, and how that works, in terms of wearing something, wearing a coat, wearing a skin.
I think wearing like
hair,
I think
whatever.
I think it could be quite a costume-based sort of exploration.
Yeah.
Having something like furry
Yeah.
that is not your skin, like my second skin,
Yeah, definitely.
and then seeing what character comes out of that, and then definitely seeing what that character might speak like,
Yeah.
and then that would be like enough to spark off an improv or whatever you wanted.
Yeah. What are the words to Hungry Like a Wolf?
You actually have to usually say
Say it again.
here. So I can actually read them out so it tells me.
If we've got the wish, no.
Yeah.
What time are we at?
Dark in the City, Night is the Wire. We've got about 5 minutes.
It's very like masculine,
Yeah.
like predatory on women,
Yeah.
like machismo.
In touch with the ground, I'm on the hunt down and after you. Smell like I sound, I'm lost in the crowd. I like that. Smell like I sound is the most.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got 5 minutes.
Great.
So, I mean, I kind of wish I had a sheep costume.
Sheep costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could be like, I'm hungry like a wolf, but being a sheep. Because I like the idea of like.
Switching it up, yeah.
Well, I was just even looking at my nails with a balloon and thinking about like claws, sort of thing, and wearing claws. And I guess, I mean, the wolf does die,
Yeah.
but what if in the story, at the end of the story,
Yeah.
the wolf gets eaten, but the farmer, the sheep farmer, whatever, cuts off his claws and his teeth and then uses them as jewellery.
Dark. I like it.
Dark.
Yeah.
And then like does a little performance with it. Hungry like a wolf.
I actually really love it. It's very like puts a lotion on his skin, but
Very interesting.
I also almost was thinking as well about what if it was at the end the wolf is killed and the sheep realises and is like haha, and then the farmer cuts off the wolf skin and the sheep wears the wolf skin.
I like
and
this
it's
too.
And it's like I'm hungry like a wolf.
They have a tiger.
Why am I imagining a sheep dancing? I love it.
Like, if I was a sheep, and this is wolf.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I the sheep or the hunter though?
The same thing. No.
No.
Are we going to make the same thing? Or... It's also the other thing that's coming out with that song. She's just very predatory and masculine and stuff. It's like someone, you know, those people on a night out that you just don't really like want to come and
Oh,
live
that's
near you.
definitely in there,
Like,
yeah.
that's definitely in there.
Yeah, definitely.
And that would be someone I wouldn't want to come near me on a night out. 100%. I'd be like, no. I didn't want to do my name. Never do it. Actually, that's right now. Decided. Putting in a different skin kind of theme.
This just looks like bloody fur.
Yeah.
It's
I quite like that.
the death. You're the hunter.
Yeah, I am.
She's gorgeous.
I don't know, I reckon you should, like, should we just...
Someone just
look more sort of from a directorial point of view. And if you know the work, like the work, you just sort of like use your movement and dance and do like a lip sync type thing.
Yeah.
And we'll see what comes out of it movement wise, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So I start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So just like the idea of like playing with movement now, and you've got your balloon, I'll throw the balloons at you.
Sure. Oh yeah. Give me like a crowd.
Okay. What came out there for me was like nightlife.
Yeah.
Prowling like a wolf. Like you know when people say when they're out on the night, they're on the pull, they're on the prowl.
Yeah.
Identity and predator and prey came up again, and it just sort of made me think about how we have this horrible thing going on at the moment where some people think that trans women are, or gender non-conforming people are in spaces they shouldn't be, and they're disguised predators.
Yeah.
I don't know, just
Yeah.
something about like the almost the ridiculousness of it was like, is that how people see certain people, even when they're just in?
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I guess to conclude,
Yep.
because
Let's
we're
do it.
probably on the same
Yeah,
few
we're on
minutes.
back time now. Yeah.
So a lot of that didn't work. Some of it did.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like in a way we kind of had an idea in our heads already, and that sort of came like we definitely I think the identity and predator. Like look at the first things that we.
Yeah, they're the
didn't
ones that
work.
sort of stuck. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe another prop different from a balloon would work better. I think maybe doing like a full proper lip sync to Duran Duran in drag would be pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
With a sheep. If I had a sheep,
Yeah.
I would enjoy it too.
I mean, it would be fabulous. But yeah, I'm not sure that. Yeah, I feel like maybe we're having too much.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably got a little bit too excited and then went down one route, but it's just important then to pull back and go down the other routes
Yeah.
rather than keep heading down that train track. Just go like, right, let's go back to the last station.
I think, yeah. I mean, it's hard to do in half an hour.
Yeah, it's really hard.
But I definitely think, I guess what I was trying to get us to do is like form sort of like a triangle between like object and then like stimulus and music in a way, because I work with music quite a lot.
Yeah.
And how they all kind of inform and marry up with each other.
Yeah.
And I guess the stimulus being the fable, the object being, I guess, the balloons and the props,
Yeah.
and then the music being the music.
Yeah.
And how they work together. I'm not sure how successful it was, but I think I need more time to like.
I think it's just good to explore things, and we did get somewhere quite quickly with what a piece could be about. Could be. It's like we don't have to, but there definitely is something in there that a piece could start from as a starting point.
Totally.
Cool.
I think we're out of time.
Perfect.